Hi, I'm Brian Haberlin. I am the co-founder and co-artist and co-author of Anomaly, which is the longest original full-color graphic novel ever done at 370 pages, big giant landscape thing. It is also suitable to be used as an offensive weapon if you need it to be, but it also can be a little defense. It can probably take a small caliber bullet, nothing bigger than a 22, and don't really try this at home, okay? We've also developed, since we're bringing a lot of them around at shows, we've developed now the Anomaly workout program. So this is bicep, we have tricep as well. Big, giant landscape format. This is every comic book artist's dream to do landscape. Guess what? The big companies don't allow us to do landscape. But since this is my company, I got to do a landscape comic book. We also got to go a little farther than landscape. So, now that's widescreen. But wait, there's more. The book also has 50 augmented reality points. So we download our free app, and we point it at the book. Can you do the sound up for me, please?
Anomaly. Take a look inside and be amazed.
Oh, what did I lose? If I lost a connection. All right. So you get it fresh this way.
Welcome to the...
Huh. Hold on a second. It was working a second ago, I swear. That's weird. Hold on a second.
Is that notebook?
Yeah, that's there. But for some reason, let me try. Let me switch to another. I mean, the notebook is from the thing.
Okay.
Let's go back to the desktop.
Okay, let's disconnect.
Sorry about that. There we go. Let's try that again. All right. Sorry. This is better. We'll have sound and everything. All right, and my big finger.
Welcome to the world of Anomaly. Take a look inside and be amazed.
And he's interactive, so you touch him, he has several actions.
What are you looking at?
And believe it or not, that is my voice. So the book inside has 50 pages like that. Everything is fully interactive 3D. That goes along with the story.
Clicks.
And he's interactive to the touch. He's a warrior. He doesn't like being touched. He'll start warning you off first, but then he'll start taking swipes at you. There's also 100 pages of appendices information that's not contained in the actual printed book. That's part of the augmented reality. Another one.
Watch time.
Poke him once, poke him twice. He doesn't like getting poked. Who would like getting poked, right? So there's 50 pages. What's really exciting as a storyteller is 2 weeks ago we put in 10 more augmented reality points. So it's the first graphic novel ever to grow after publication, after print. And what we do is the interface is right there. So since it's all image-based recognition, we can add interactivity to any page we want at any time we want. And we could tell you in-app which new pages are. As you can see, there's new banners on several of those pages, are interactive. So nobody's hunting and pecking for anything. People can go right into the app itself, and we can change things all the time, which I think is really fun. We also, so our company does interactive graphic novels. That was our very first one, came out in December. Our next one, Shifter, 200 pages, this is just a preview comic of it, comes out in November. And we have a little sample of its AR on this cover. And if I put my big fat finger over it, there we go. There we go. What I like about him is he has an X-ray now. And he's still interactive. Come on, you can't beat a skeleton saber-toothed tiger whapping at you. Come on. We also have it too, so these things work for, because we can't always be, the problem with AR is a lot of people don't know what it is. So we have to show people when we go to comic book cons all the time. We go to monthly shows, basically, and they see it, they love it, they think it's great. But we have to have a way that comic book store owners can have it in their store and not have to sell it. So we have an extremely light version of our interactive app that goes on posters and postcards, which I'll be giving away tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock at the Qualcomm Vuforia booth. So,
Anomaly, available now.
Click. Wachai.
and the postcard,
Itan Iok. Mug.
and these are all interactive too, 6 of the points. You can do a magic trick with them and wake them off, get the next one. Get the next one.
Clicks.
But this way, you can have people who aren't familiar with it, you can say, take this in their bag, it says right on the postcard where to get the light version of the app. It's small enough that you can get it right over a phone, you don't need a Wi-Fi connection or anything, and they can be playing with the augmented reality right out of the gate. And then they say, if you want more, there's 50 of them in the great big book. So, that's what I do. I get to make up comic books and stories for a living. I think we're going to do little questions, and then we're going to move. Each person's going to do a presentation, and then we're going to take questions for them after each one of the things. Is how we're going to handle it? Yes? Is that what?
Yes, that is correct. Wow. Okay, so you didn't have too long, so thank you. That makes sure that some of our later arrivals have some time. So yeah, any questions for Brian at the moment?
Just curious from a budgeting standpoint, how, just because I'm not intimately familiar with your company, how you got to a point where you could publish things that has all of this additional content, which I imagine takes quite a bit of development time beyond just publishing the book itself. How you, if it's managed just through the price of the product, or how you deal with the costs associated.
Yeah, okay. I approach comics in a unique way. We take a Pixar animation approach, so everything in our printed comic has a 3D base. So we have everything 3D from the get-go, which makes it very easy to adapt to any number of interactivity things that we can do. I mean, the biggest problem for us was bringing down poly counts from big, heavy OBJs to 20K or less and still have them look nice. Yeah. Yes? We sell books. Well, there's probably going to be less development on the earlier books and more on the later ones. So we'll be adding things again, probably another round to Anomaly, this graphic novel. But then as the new books come out, there'll be more the focus of additional things. Yeah, and plus the big thing, I mean, especially with augmented reality for storytelling, is like we're finding the language for it. I mean, right now it's the icing on the cake when it comes to our book and even our next book. But the trick is to find it really how we can find a language for it that can really affect and make the storytelling more interesting and beyond what we can do right now in print.
You can tell the story over and over again. So, and each time make modifications and
Well, you know, to a certain point, I have a decent fan base from different characters I've created before in the past. So there are people, when you have a fan base, will, you know, the more, then it becomes about the amount of stuff you can bring out. So you keep coming out with new stuff, then usually, you know, I'll knock on wood, they'll come back and get more.
So I have a question. How does one know if that page is augmented? Is there an
In the app itself,
Okay.
there's a legend in the app which will say page 2, page
Okay.
3. You know, so you're not hunting for anything.
Okay. And then
Can you explain or talk a little more about finding the language? What does that mean?
We haven't found it yet.
Okay.
But it's like finding when they first started doing motion pictures. It's like finding really how do you edit? How do you you know, we're going to use the line, not cross the line. We're going to get to sound. Then how do we use sound? How do we use color once we get to color? It's a new medium.
Sure.
And right now, again, I'm using it to do little interactivity things. I'm using it to do sort of DVD box extras. There are pages in here that you can see my script for the page, and I'm doing voiceover, and you see the pencils for the page, you see the black and white, you see the painted version. But really, I think the end goal is to do something that's completely new, instead of just adding to something that's more conventional. I mean, what I like about it is it takes something physical, like a book, and brings it new life, in that you got this interactivity. So you have all these people with these and with phones, Androids and Apple devices who want to come in and show these really cool things. I mean, the response we get at comic book conventions is people flip out,
Sure.
you know. But really, this was our getting our toes in the water, because really it's got to, for it to be resonant and for it to go beyond this, it's got to be part of the storytelling.
So I accept that you haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
But, can you maybe find some, or mention some things that you found didn't work, or some directions that you plan on taking down the road?
Well, I think the one he mentioned, the you know, again, it lends itself very much to the old, you know, pick a chapter books. So you can constantly change, like you can have the book and next time you read it, it has a different ending.
Sure.
You know, or that character is different or something like that. But again, we've been down that road before. It's maybe a more effective way of doing that than has been done before, but it's still not really super unique to what the form is, to what the medium, and the medium is the message, you know, so we need to
Sure.
find what that message this thing can really do for us.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then it looks like we have one more question right here, which will be our last question.
Oh,
I saw you.
yeah. Just as a storyteller, what when you were making Anomaly, what technique or what frame or what picture really allowed you to tell the story in a different way? Was there any kind of one sort of shining example where you're like, wow, this is a real breakthrough moment for me?
As far as, you mean in the AR or the graphic novel itself?
In the AR. Like where you really felt like it opened the door, like, you know, tell you something new about how you want to tell that story.
It was almost more, well, I mean, you get that, and then you get the limitations too. So you're like, oh, we want to do that, that, and that. And then we're like, okay, but then if we do that, that device can't run that anymore, you know, and that device can't run that anymore. So you have to do these compromises. But what we found as a result of doing all this is we now, from a print book, we have access to sound, animation. We have access to multi-layer storytelling via, you know, click on it, and you see the script, you see the pencils, you see all the stuff. You can interactively zoom into these things. And they're all additive, and they're all, again, I'm excited by them all, but I still, right now, it's DVD extras, it's icing on the cake, it's not the next step in storytelling. And that's what I mean, I've been on plenty of panels with people who are other comic book artists and who are working on the same thing, and we all agree, no one's found the language yet. But that's that's the exciting part too, is trying to figure out what that is. Sure.
Awesome. It better be very quick. Oh, good question. The price of the book. And how does one get it? So plug fast.
You can get the book pretty much everywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, bookstores, comic book stores. It retails at $75, but you can usually find it for $40-something. And like I said, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock will be the Vuforia booth, the Qualcomm booth, and we have free posters that have augmented reality, postcards, and I'll be signing. And I think, too, in your little satchels, people who got satchels, you have the AR postcards. So it says right on the front where you can get the app for it for free, too, and play with it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
Round of applause, please, guys. That's very neat.